Good morning, folks. How are you all doing? Just nipped to the co-op because I fancied me a meal deal. As you can probably tell, went for a pit stop. Decided to shave my face. Now I look like a 14-year-old girl. Right, missions for the day. A couple of things to achieve. So let's go do that. Tell you what, using a camera in public ain't half bloody weird. At least I can't lose my van. It's one thing I do want to get better at, is talking to the camera in public. It's kind of what I was thinking with these videos, because I'm going to be doing them every day. So that'll almost force me to, at some point, have to talk to people in public. But now you can stop moaning about the smoke alarm batteries. Money's starting to come in now. My sort of monthly pay bits. I'm just waiting for a parcel to be delivered, which might come today, probably not. Hopefully, fingers crossed, tomorrow. Once that's come, grab that, and then can get on the roll with this little tour of the UK business. Get moving. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be good. Going to give me a purpose for being here. Come and seal your vans and show them to the world. What I'm going to do, I'm going to head somewhere in a minute. I don't really want to sit in this car park, and then I'm going to go through all of the messages that I've had already, try and see where everyone is roughly in the country, and see if I can figure out a little bit of it.
Mate, you can't pull it forward a bit because I can't open the door for the car seat.
Oh, can you not? I hate people. Anyway, can't even remember what I was talking about because people are so stupid that they can't park straight in a space. I was parked in front of home base, so I couldn't resist going in. Got myself a new coming in mat for £1. Can't beat that. Right, just fuel to get now. I can get the hell out of this built up toll. Apparently everybody else in Market Harbour had the same idea as me. Screw that, I'll go to the other one. How to torture Ash. Stick him in this. I don't know how people do this every day, you know. Especially the people that don't enjoy their job or aren't doing what they want to be doing, and then spending half their day sitting in traffic jams trying to get to and from said job. It boggles the mind, it really does, how we as a species have got to the point where this is okay. You literally just sat watching the clock and watching your life tick away right in front of you, doing absolutely nothing. Unbelievable. I don't mean to come across like preachy, it's just that shit blows my mind. Half a tank. Feels cheap. £1.27. I know that cheap for flipping ages. Get me back in Poland. It's like 80p a litre. Right, let's go find somewhere nice, shall we? Well, this is just better already. Come for a little wander, something to do. Try not to fall into the canal. That's the Deaddale Marina, just over there, all the canal boats. Guess we're the same really, aren't we? Except they live on the water and we live on the roads. Same idea though. Feels really weird to be back here in this spot. I've been coming here all my life. Used to fish up here years ago, must be. I used to come up on the bike with the fishing rods and pull it up at that fence there and then hang out up here, fish. Really good fishing here actually. to always end up sitting in an ant's nest down here. Oh dear. So weird, isn't it? 27 years old now, and yet I was coming up here before I even had a licence. I used to come up here on the push bikes. So peaceful. I love the canal. I think I'm going to have to get that licence thing, as stupid as it is, for the blow up boat. It'd be so nice to get on the canal and have a paddle down. So peaceful. If I'm going to be in the UK for a little bit, because I've been thinking about it, and as much as I want to just bugger off over to Europe now, it's probably not the smartest idea, because I've got to come back for these shows in April and May. So it seems kind of stupid going over there just for a couple of months, especially with the MOT as well, because that's due middle of March. Yeah, I don't know, I'll see how I get on. I'll start having a little play around here, go meet some people. If I'm not enjoying myself, then maybe I will go over, but I think it's going to be fun. The only thing that's sort of missing, if you like, the only problem I've got with this lifestyle at the minute, the lack of a motorbike. You probably remember, I think I've said before, you know, I've rode bikes all my life, and a day like today, nice sunny day, I'd love to just whip the bike out and go for a ride. I mean, I built this van to take one, but it can't really take what I want. That's where the 7.5 tonne will eventually come in. Now, I can't be doing too bad, can I, if my only gripe with what I'm doing right now is the lack of a two-wheeled toy. But yeah, at some point it definitely needs to happen. I've had a lot of bikes in my time, a lot. I used to work in a bike dealership. I've also rode a lot of bikes. Out of all of them, my favourite one was my Tenere 660 Yamaha XTZ. I loved that bike. That was... I regret selling that every day. I regret selling that because they've gone up in bloody price now. I wish I hadn't sold it. I took all of the accessories that I put on, so all like the crash bars, the lights, all sorts of bits on it. Touring screen, I'd raised it up, off-road tyres, all sorts. I took it all off, put it back standard when I sold it, and I've still got all those parts ready for the next bike. But I want one of them on the back in green and black. I'll just paint it with a roller, I don't care anymore. On like a ramp so I can, you know, roll it off. Oh, be so good. I just don't have the spare weight in this van. We'll get there one day, save enough money to get a beast of a van. I will buy the same van, just in 7 tonne. Once I do it, I will literally have both the vans together and take every part out of this van and put it into the new van. Just a direct copy, because this layout I've got now is absolutely perfect for me. It took me a while to get there, but I love it. So it'll be a Beast 2.0, and it'll be identical, but I'll have 4 tonnes of carrying capacity as opposed to like 1 and a bit tonnes, which this is. In theory, I'd be able to drive it around with this van on the roof if I wanted to. But yeah, that's my long-term goals. Probably be a long time before that happens, but that's just in case you wanted to know. That's what I plan to do, because as soon as I get that proper bike on board, that's me done. That's one completed, finished. There is no better for me than that. Have a proper touring bike on the back, so I could literally pull this thing up anywhere, whip the bike off and go ride up a mountain or into a city or whatever I need to do. That's better. I just remembered I should probably do my work now, make the video and all of that. Running out of day, but I got a feeling it's going to be a pretty banging sunset, so I'll let you enjoy that in a bit when it happens. But yeah, for now it's work o'clock. If you're not interested in photography in any way, end this video here, and I'll be back at the same time tomorrow doing something completely different. If you're not interested, it's fine, just click off. But if you are, crack on, let's see if we can achieve something cool here. So I said that I wanted to incorporate more photography stuff on this channel, and we're going to start now at 10:30 in the evening. Whenever I used to upload a starry picture, or like a night sky picture, at the end of a video, everyone always used to say, like, you know, how do you do that? Can you show us how to do that? Yes, I'm gonna give you a very basic way and something you can try yourselves today. You know, I can go way into this, but we'll keep it nice and short and easy for today. All you're gonna need is your phone. Obviously, if you've got a 3310 or something, then you're probably not going to get very far with this. Just a modern phone, then you can play. Also, you're going to need a way to steady the phone. There's plenty of things you can buy, like little phone mounts that go onto tripods. But yeah, just a basic little tripod like this. And a phone holder. Obviously, you don't need this one, but it's just something to hold your phone. They'll basically do the same thing. So you're going to go onto your phone, load up your camera. Now most cameras now, if you go down to the menu, you're going to have some kind of a pro mode. You see that? And all that's going to enable you to do is change all your settings. All cameras operate the same way, with the three same basic things, which are ISO, aperture and shutter speed. Okay, we don't need to worry about aperture on here because it's a phone. So basically, inside a camera, you know, when it makes this noise, you hear that noise? The shutter. Yeah. So let's assume that the phone here, well, that's a bit weird. So assume that this screen is the piece of film, like the negative film, and that noise, there's a shutter. It's like a curtain, but it's called a shutter, and that shutter is over that piece of film. And when you press the shutter button, that noise is the shutter doing that. Yeah, it goes up, it lets the light into the film, and then it goes down. So these numbers that we have here, this shutter speed here, that number relates to how fast that curtain is moving up and down, basically. The lowest number is the biggest number, which is 1/24,000th of a second. So that shutter isn't going to be open very long at all, which means hardly any light is going to hit that sensor or that piece of film. Yeah. So we go the other way. The longer that shutter is going to be open. So we're at 1/15th of a second now. We keep going. So that shutter is going to be open 1 full second, which means it's going to let a lot more light in, but also if the camera isn't stable, it's going to blur. This is why when it's dark and you're trying to take pictures, sometimes you get blurry images because the phone is trying to have the shutter open as long as it can, and obviously you've not got a steady hand. So if I take this photo now with me moving around a little bit, you'll see, well, you probably can't see it well on there, but that is really crap and blurry. Go for a higher shutter speed, 125th of a second, with me moving around still. That's a much sharper picture. How do we do these night photos? Well, you're going to whack your shutter speed right up to 10 seconds if you're on a phone. I've gone all the way to the end of the little scale here. So that shutter is going to be open for 10 whole seconds, which is going to allow a lot of light in. And that moves on to the next thing, which is the ISO. So that's this little number here. And basically what that does is the sensitivity of that piece of film or sensor behind the shutter. So the phone in this case. The higher that number, the more sensitive to light it is. So when you used to use film, you buy a higher ISO film, and that would be a lot more sensitive than a lower ISO film. I know this is all a little bit to start with. I get that. That is the same for everybody. That's why I am showing you how to do it on a phone, because then you can play with it and you'll get more of an understanding of what these numbers actually mean and what that transfers to into a real thing, rather than just hearing these numbers and going and trying and figuring it out for yourself. If you start playing with it on your phone, the same principle applies to, you know, thousands of pounds worth of cameras. They work the same. Obviously there's other differences, but the core principles are all the same. So if you can do it on a phone, you can do it on that. You can do it on that. Even this action camera, this also has those same settings on it that you can adjust. And doing night photography is the best way to get your head around what those settings mean to start with, because the results are instant and you can see what happens. So you're going to want your shutter speed as high as it will go and your ISO as high as it will go, because it's a phone, so it's not particularly great. Okay, and you're going to want to set your focus. This is important. Where it says MF, so you can set this to auto or manual, but make sure you put this on manual focus, and that will let you focus it yourself once you're outside. And then we're ready to go. So shutter speed as high as it will go, ISO as high as it will go, and manual focus. We'll get the camera on our mount, and I'll put this on a little tripod and we're good to go. So just real quick, you probably can't see me now, but this is not going to be a good photo, okay? That's not the point of this. This is just demonstrating how to do it, but you can take from this the skills you'll learn and then apply that to taking good photos. So here's the setup. Well, I look really bright on this. Doesn't look that bright on the back of the phone, but you can't see anything. The moon is up there. As for focusing, you can put your focus, see the slider here, you've got macro that side, infinity that side. It's probably not going to be exact, but we'll give it a go for a test shot. The last stage is you're going to want to look for the timer. So you're going to need to put a self timer on it. Even though it's here, just give it a 2 second or 5 second, whatever you've got, self timer. Just pressing the button is enough to shake the camera. So you press it, hold still, it'll take the photo, and we'll see how it turns out. I've gone for portrait on this. So I'm going to give it a go and I'll throw it up on the screen what I get. So 2 second timer, and now it's going to take 10 seconds now to take this photo. So you just got to stay dead steady. I mean, that's actually overexposed, which is kind of insane for a phone. That's come out like daylight. So we don't really want that. That means I've got it cranked up way too much. So what I'm going to do is turn the ISO right down to 100 and see how we get on then. 2 second timer, take the picture. Oh, there we go, see? We're getting stars on a phone. It's going to work. You'll be able to have fun with this. The moonlight is a little bit bright tonight. I think that turned out pretty good actually for the first try. Let's go landscape. Bump up that ISO so I can see what I'm doing. Let's set that to there like that. So we're going for a landscape shot now. I'm on ISO 125, 10 second shutter speed, 2 second timer, and go, taking the photo. Hey, that's not a bad little photo, that's not. There we go. Quite happy with that. Got some nice stars in there. Like I said, the purpose of this isn't to take an amazing picture. It's just to show you what to do. I hope you enjoyed it. What I'm going to say is, because I want to see what you get. This is blinding. So send me them on Instagram, what you managed to get, and I'll put them on my Instagram story. How about that? Because I'm excited to see. see what you get. Yeah, go have a play, go have an experiment, and I look forward to seeing them. Right, I'll see you all tomorrow.